Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, a series of stabbings has multiple dead in New York City and a man behind bars.
And a popular children's author heads to Oswego to speak on his work.
Plus, a local school district on watch after threats from one of its middle school students.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kinjal Gurung.
And I'm Eliza Hopkins.
A teacher at Jamesville Devitt Middle School was told she would be haunted and killed by one of her students earlier this week, an issue that is raising concerns in the school district. Teacher Denise Stiletano was given a letter by a 12-year-old student describing how he would haunt and kill her, as well as depictions of shooting range, torture center, and hanging pot. It's accused that this isn't the student's first time threatening a staff member.
Stiletano also expressed concerns for possible preferential treatment by the school board due to the family's connection to the district. The matter was reported to DeWitt Police and Onondaga District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick said that the student's father had firearms in the home that were voluntarily turned over.
Daniel Handler, who is popularly known by his pen name Lemony Snicket, will visit SUNY Oswego on December 2nd. He will be appearing as the last speaker of Living Writers series. The event will be held at the Marano Campus Center Auditorium starting at 3 p.m. The author will give a book reading, answer questions, and sign books. For more information, check out the Living Writers series on SUNY Oswego's events calendar.
4 nurses graduated from the Manor at Seneca Hill, Oswego Health's skilled nursing facility, through a 5-week training program. This program consisted of 240 hours of clinical, classroom, and lab instruction to prepare students for certification in becoming certified nursing assistants, or CNAs. Not only are these nurses gaining valuable experience in a healthcare setting, but they are also earning a full salary in the process.
Syracuse Hancock International Airport will be seeing development as one of its runway will become a parking lot for construction workers working on the new Micron plant in Clay. The runway was originally built by the Army forces in the 1940s but was later abandoned in 1970s. The Micron plant in Clay was announced in October of 2022 and expects to bring over 50,000 jobs to CNY. As students plan to go home for the holidays, students are also encouraged to make plans to stay safe as they head home.
Our reporter, Piper Kiernan, talked with an Oswego student and a healthcare provider about flu season and getting the flu shot.
Flu season is here, and with it brings the sniffles, high temperatures, and sore throats. Campus medical leaders say there's a way to help protect yourself: the flu shot. Oswego student Emma Scott won't be getting one due to past experiences.
2 days after I got the flu shot, I did get sick for about a week. I was in bed for 3 days, which is weird for me because I never get sick. So I went and got tested, and it turns out I had the flu. And I was like, I just got the flu shot.
But other students did get the jab this semester through vaccine clinics on campus free to students. Director of Health Angie Brown says enrollment has been lower this year, estimating as many as 300 students getting the flu shot, when in years past, the number has been upwards of 1,000 students. Brown says a sore arm now could save lives later.
That it gives you immunity to the flu. It is obviously not 100% protective, but also if you get the flu shot, then if you were to get flu, you're less apt to spread the virus to others.
To keep loved ones safe, the last vaccine clinic of the semester will be Wednesday, November 20th in Sweatman Gym from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Even with the public's opinion swaying on the matter, the flu shot remains a widely recommended measure by medical professionals for preventing the flu.
And it's another stretch of cold as students head home for the holidays.
Let's take a first look at your forecast with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald. Aurora?
Thanks, guys. First, we're going to take a look at our current conditions before I get into all that traveling stuff. Currently 42 degrees outside. We are seeing some drizzles outside. You're definitely going to see some rain heading into the weekend. Pressure outside is not too bad, sitting at 1002.1 millibars. Humidity is at 83%, dew points at 36, and it is a little breezy out there. North winds at 11 to 15 miles per hour, but I'll have more in my full forecast right after this. Back to you guys for now.
Thank you, Aurora. Thank you, Aurora. An arrest has been made in a random stabbing spree in New York City. 51-year-old Ramon Rivera has been charged with 3 separate accounts of first-degree murder. It is reported that he randomly attacked and killed 2 men and 1 woman across Manhattan and with 2 kitchen knives that he had in his possession. Rivera was caught in action during his 3rd attack by a passing cab driver who reported it to the police.
Family Care Medical Group and Excelsis has reached an agreement after weeks of negotiations. Excelsis Blue Cross Blue Shield has been in continuous talks with multiple healthcare providers, including WellNow Urgent Care and St. Joseph's Health. WellNow struck a deal with Excelsis recently, leaving St. Joseph's as the last provider currently still in negotiations. The agreement between Family Care and Excelsis will be effective starting January 1st.
Popular band Maroon 5 will be playing as the headline act at 2025 Dick's opening. This event is taking place on July 11, 2025 and at the Enjoy Golf Course in Endicott, New York. Dick's Sporting Goods announced the news through a Facebook post. The tickets will go on sale starting December 6th at 10 a.m. on Ticketmaster, with early bird tickets are also available from December 10th to the 14th. Still ahead tonight, an arrest warrant for out a world leader fresh on people's mind, how he and his countries are responding.
Plus, a controversial Trump cabinet picks stepping out of consideration, why the former congressman is bowing out.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
WTOP-10, I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. Now, taking a look at our watches, warnings, and advisories right here. We have a winter weather advisory. That's what you're going to see in the purple down here in Syracuse and out towards the west of New York. This is 4 p.m. today, going into 4 p.m. tomorrow into Friday. Now, we also have a winter storm warning down here in the Binghamton area in southern parts of New York, which was issued today at 4 p.m. Thursday and will stay same thing as the advisory 4 p.m. until Friday. So as you're traveling out, make sure you are keeping in mind with these advisories. We're definitely going to see a bunch of that winter weather. Make sure to be safe and have those tools on you just in case your car crashes down or anything like that. Taking a look at our 3-day forecast. As you're traveling, some of you may be heading out tomorrow. So Friday, we're just going to see some rain and wind for now. Those winds will be gusting up to possibly even 30 miles per hour. Still pretty chilly though. We're seeing 45, 47, and again 45 on Sunday. The rain will continue throughout the weekend. It'll be a little bit gloomy, and we might even see some mixed precipitation heading into next week. Now taking a look at our warnings. So an ice storm warning, a winter storm warning, a blizzard warning, and a wind chill warning. So what are we seeing right now? We saw before a winter storm warning, which is right here in the light blue. So the winter storm warning is anywhere above 8 inches or more of snow. And this is what we're going to be seeing again. That was what you saw in the pink area. So again, keep those tools with you just in case anything happens while you're traveling, and keep in mind that the roads will be slippery. Taking a look at our day planner for tomorrow. If you're heading out to class or if you're going home for break, it's going to be 43 degrees. The showers and the wind are going to continue throughout the day. We're seeing only a high of 45, so it's still going to be pretty cold. And by 9 p.m. again, showers will be out there, roads will be slippery, but it won't quite reach that temperature of 32 degrees of freezing. Now, as we look at our futurecast tomorrow, Friday at 11, we're going to see a bunch of this rain. And look, we have snow down here. The pink area is where we have mixed precipitation. As we continue Friday, 6:30, this is going to dissipate, and not too much going into Saturday. You're probably going to see some scattered showers. We see this rain coming back on Saturday in the evening, and then Sunday we're seeing still some mixed precipitation, rain here and there. And if you're staying over the break, this is what it's going to look like. You're still having some clouds. It's still going to be a tiny bit gloomy. But as we're looking into our extended forecast, again, Friday, Saturday, we're seeing that wind. The temperatures are staying in the 40s. We're only seeing about a 51 on Monday, but the rain will continue Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday for Thanksgiving. We're seeing that mixed precipitation because we see that 32 and 30 degrees of freezing. That is all for my forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Aurora. The FAA says it may need to slow down air traffic during peak travel times this holiday season due to staffing issues. The Northeast could be hit the hardest, especially New York, due to a shortage of air traffic controllers in that area. In May, the FAA said it was short about 3,000 air traffic controllers overall. In September, the agency said it had met its yearly goal of hiring 1,800 controllers. The FAA says the Tuesday before Thanksgiving will likely be its busiest travel day.
More than 167,000 pounds of ground beef had been recalled due to the possible E. coli contamination. The beef was shipped to restaurants nationwide from Wolverine Packing Company. Since the beginning of November, 15 people who had eaten ground beef reported feeling ill in Minnesota. A sample tested on November 20th was positive for E. coli. Impacted items could have been fresh or frozen. Symptoms of E. coli infection include severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, fever, and vomiting. They typically subside within a week.
After being the front-runner to become the next Attorney General in Donald Trump's second term, Matt Gaetz has announced that he is withdrawing his nomination. The former Florida congressman was nominated for the position last week, vacating his seat on the House of Representatives after the nomination. But Gaetz announced his withdrawal from the nomination on the X today after an investigation from the House Ethics Committee revealed new evidence of a second sexual encounter with a 17-year-old girl. Gaetz denies these allegations, claiming to be stepping down to reduce the distraction during the transition of power. A 12-year-old boy in Florida is on a mission to help teenagers avoid gang life.
As Nicholas Brooks reports, his story is a reminder that you're never too young to make a difference.
A 12-year-old from Duval County is making a difference with a mission to keep young people off the streets and out of gangs. Peyton Macon, the founder of Future Leaders of America, is calling on his community to take action before it's too late.
I am standing up for my generation and saying there's nothing for us to do.
On Friday, Peyton spoke directly to the Duval County Legislative Delegation, addressing some of the biggest challenges facing today's young people.
I taught them about how I wanted to get a community center for kids that want to go somewhere, don't want to be stuck at home, don't want to be in the same apartments all the time doing bad stuff.
According to the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice, 13,900 juveniles were arrested in North Florida from 2022 to 2023, a troubling increase from previous years. But Peyton's message is clear. This doesn't have to be the future for teens. To help prevent this, Peyton believes his community needs resources like
somewhere they can play games, have fun, play sports.
We want to stop our kids from going to prison, and we want them to be our future leaders.
Peyton's grandmother, Patricia Brooks, is the driving force behind his passion. Her support inspired him to start his nonprofit organization.
And I know if I can reach just one, he can teach someone else.
Future Leaders of America focus on mentorship, job placement, and access to resources to help steer kids away from gangs and violence.
The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over allegation of his nation using starvation as a method of welfare. The Netherlands-based court also says the Prime Minister bears responsibility for, quote, crimes against humanity of murder, persecution, and other inhuman acts in the nation's current conflict. The Prime Minister's office calls the warrant absurd and anti-Semitic. When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, a trial death row gets controversial over a new practice.
And rideshare workers are hitting the road with empty cars. What are they driving for?
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew, look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
Here's our latest in consumer news.
Several rideshare drivers took to the streets with no passengers this week, looking to pick up better deal on the job instead. Several drivers from Nashville, Tennessee, working for rideshare giants Uber and Lyft, want the state to ban out-of-state drivers from working in this state, as well as reassessment of the fees they occur giving rides to the airport. The drivers also demand a central location for pickups and drop-offs. The state and companies have not responded to these strikes.
Donald Trump's Truth Social platform is making moves to get into the cryptocurrency market. The social media platform's parent company filed a trademark for what's called, quote, TruthFi, described as a cryptocurrency payment processing platform. The application doesn't guarantee that the project will come to life, but the fling brings conflict of interest concerns between Trump-owned platform and his incoming administration that looks to enact crypto-friendly policies. An appeal against controversial new death penalty method has been denied in Alabama. Death row inmate Kerry Dale Grayson appealed his execution through nitrogen gas, claiming the new method for carrying out the execution was cruel and an unusual punishment. Alabama officials disagreed, calling the method, quote-unquote, painless. The Supreme Court sided with the state and the execution will go on as scheduled. The 50-year-old is serving time for the 1994 killing of a hitchhiker.
Coming up in sports, Michelle Smith.
Michelle, can you give us a quick preview?
Fans around the National Hockey League are not happy, as it was just announced by the Washington Capitals that captain Alex Ovechkin will be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a broken leg in his 20th NHL season. The 39-year-old forward suffered the injury against the Utah Hockey Club on Monday in a leg-to-leg collision with Jack McBain. Fans were enraged by the hit as it halted Ovi's chase for Wayne Gretzky's goal record. Some fans even sent McBain death threats. Ovechkin was on track to win the Richard Trophy for the most goals in a season before the injury. He is just 27 goals from passing the Great One and setting a new record to further cement his legacy in the NHL as a new golden era begins with the new generation of stars. We'll see how the rest of the season goes for the Capitals vet when he returns from injury later this winter. Coming up, Rob Finger with the latest in local and professional sports. WTOP-10 Nightly News will be back right after this break.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew, broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Sports. I'm Rob Faker. First up in Lakers sports, the Lakers men's basketball team bounced back from their 1-point loss to the St. Lawrence Saints, returning to their winning ways by beating Brockport 78-72. Senior guard Xavier Allen showed bright on the hardwood, putting up 24 points in just 23 minutes on the floor. With that win, they advanced to 3-1 on the season and will take on the Nazareth Golden Flyers next week out in Rochester. Hitting the ice, the Oswego State Lakers hockey teams play once again at the Deb this weekend following a successful whiteout weekend last time out. The women's team looks to maintain their undefeated streak as they face the number 8 Cortland Red Dragons, while the men's team looks towards a doubleheader against Buff State on Friday and Fredonia on Saturday. All the coverage for all 3 games will be right here on WTOP-10 Sports, beginning with the pregame show 30 minutes before puck drop. Heading to the pros now, the Boston Celtics made a trip to the White House today in celebration of their 18th franchise NBA championship. They met with current President Joe Biden, who gave a speech during their ceremony on the South Lawn. He praised the Celtics as not just last year's champion, but also the winningest franchise in league history. He also said, quote, "You may not know this, but my Secret Service name is Celtic. For real, because I'm Irish. From this old Irish Celtic to all you Celtics, congratulations," end quote. Taking you out to the ball game, the MLB just handed out their MVP awards for this year, and both were unanimous. Aaron Judge was named American League MVP, his second of his career, while Shohei Ohtani was named National League MVP, his third MVP award in just 4 years. Judge led the league in home runs with 58, nearly reaching his previous record, while Ohtani put up the first 50-homer, 50 stolen base season in MLB history. Hats off to these heavy hitters. Crypto.com Arena is the site. The Buffalo Sabres taking on the home LA Kings. No score through the first 2 periods, so we jump right into the third. Rasmus Dahlin at the top puts a big shot on, and Jason Zucker redirects it in. Sabres taking a late 1-0 lead off a wonderful deflection in front. We'll go to later in the period. LA trying to claw it back off the rush, cuts right in on goal. Quick shot save made by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Final score, 1-0 Sabres. UPL getting his 6th career shutout as the Sabres goaltending rotation continues its growth. Sabres advance to 4th in the Atlantic Division, just ahead of the Boston Bruins. And they continue their West Coast road trip, taking on the Anaheim Ducks just tomorrow night.
Thanks, Rob. And with the week coming to a close, we are taking a look at this week's pet of the week, starting off with my dog, June, whom I miss her a lot.
First up is Peanut, submitted by Rebecca Shoemaker.
Next, we have Bandit, submitted by Logan Russo.
And last but not least, we've got my cat Wednesday dressed up for a late Halloween.
That's so cute.
That costume is
adorable. Yeah.
My goodness.
I actually made that Halloween costume myself. I dressed up as
that's
How long did it take you?
It took me, I think, almost a month because I had to learn how to crochet first to then make it.
Oh, you had to learn how to crochet first.
Yes.
That's impressive, though.
Yeah.
Very impressive project.
Oh, absolutely.
And what about you? Do you have pets?
I currently do not have a pet.
Okay.
I've grown up with dogs, though. I've had many, many dogs. I had a Chihuahua, a Greyhound, a Husky Pit Bull mix.
Going from a Chihuahua to a Greyhound, that's like
no, Greyhounds are fast and they're tall.
Oh,
yes.
And what's the plan for the weather?
Oh, plan for the weather. So we're finally seeing those winter temperatures. We're seeing those mixed precipitations. Thanksgiving, we might even see some mixed precipitation, and I think the most important thing to worry about is travel right now. Definitely heading out, no matter what day you're leaving to go home or to go anywhere for Thanksgiving. Keep in mind, the roads will be slippery, the roads will be wet, I feel like everyone should always have everything in their car. God forbid anything ever happens and they're on the side of the road. Get a AAA membership too, it helps.
So yeah, that's our report for tonight.
Be sure to stay up to date on all things WTOP by following us at WTOP-10 Oswego.
Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.
Your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and can briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man. Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.